I don't think it was a mistake at all. I think it was definitely a helpful, good growing process. You always want to learn. You always need better, whether you're a journalist, whether you're a photographer, whether you're a PR guy, whether you do music, whatever it is. You always want to grow. You always want to get better. You always want to expand your horizons. A lot of artists, whether you're a music artist and you come off an album that's completely unexpected from what you're used to doing, sometimes you catch a negative flack for that. Whether you're a mixed martial artist and you come with a different style, a la Clay Guida or something like that, you come with a different style than what people are used to. But it is good. It is imperative to continue to grow. As Americans, we know how important it is to keep growing, getting bigger and better, and improving things and being more efficient. So for me, I think it was a good thing to go to 170. Definitely grew as a mixed martial artist, grew as a person. Got my butt kicked. I was undefeated at 170 for a while. Got my butt kicked against Andre. He did a great job. But I'm as confident as any fighter on the planet still. If we want to go 5 rounds tomorrow with Andre, 170, no problem. Sign me up. I guarantee you I'll get my hand raised, So that part of it, sometimes guys, when you grow, when you're trying to do better things and it doesn't end up going your way, you can be hard on you mentally. Mentally, I'm pretty strong though, so it wasn't in a bad way for me in any way, shape, or form.
As unfun as that cut to 155 is there any? I don't know if I'm trying to think of the word that I should use here to describe it. Is it better for you to have those early weigh-ins? Is that going to be maybe it's something off your mind a little bit? You don't have to carry that all the way to 4 o'clock?
I think for sure the early weigh-ins, having 36 hours to recover instead of only 24 hours, or sometimes because I was the early fights, you have less time. Later fights, you have a little more time. But whether you have 24 hours to recover, or you have 36 hours to recover, it's a big, huge difference, So I think for me, the early weigh-ins, I did it last time in Connecticut, but it was at 170, so it didn't really matter to me too much. But at 155, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy those extra 8 hours of food and water that I get.
Obviously your debut
chocolate Oreo brownie.
Obviously your debut fight didn't go as planned. Is there any pressure on you to make sure you win the second fight?
Say it one more time.
Your debut fight didn't go as planned. Do you feel any pressure to maybe win this next fight?
Towels. How cool is that? Needing to get
this win, yeah.
Yeah, needing to get this win. All my fights, it is imperative. It is paramount. I have to win. It doesn't matter whether your first fight in an organization, whether it's you're fighting for a belt, whether your first fight as an amateur, first fight you have to win. Period. It doesn't matter. Your fight career is so short. You have to win. It doesn't matter what extras, what incentives, what toppings are there. You got to win. It doesn't matter. That's every fight. For me, the way I approach it doesn't matter. I have to win. This fight, is the biggest fight of my life, the biggest fight of my career. How will I bounce back? Second time in Bellator, get those Bellator cage jitters over. Back down at my real weight class, 155. Winner gets the title shot. Chandler was hurt before, so had to wait him out, and they asked me if I wanted to wait or if I wanted to fight right away. Mike Kogan laughed, like, "Oh, I know what your answers are going to be, but you want to fight or you're going to wait?" It's like, me, man, I want to fight. That being said, again, Jason Perry, all my fights, I have to win.
Did you think Patricio was kind of a curious choice of opponents for Bellator?
I thought it was definitely different because him being a 145-pounder, former champion, long-time champion for Bellator, so it definitely threw me off a little bit. But then when it was explained to me by Mike Kogan, super fight between 2 former champions, Patricio wanting to avenge his brother's loss and how he lost, and he goes, "Oh yeah, it's a great way to sell a fight." I mean, you guys, I imagine, can write up all sorts of parallel storylines and this and that, and cheating this matchup and cheating that matchup. I'll leave that to you guys. You guys do a much better job of that than I. But as he explained to me, he's like, "Oh yeah, it makes sense. Okay, I can see why you would want that matchup." Plus, he's one of the only guys who said yes. So.
What do you make of the size dynamic in this then, bringing that up? Do you feel what happened to you in your debut fight could be a factor in this fight, given he's a little bit smaller than you?
There's always pros and cons to being either the bigger fighter or the smaller fighter. I've just happened to be the bigger fighter in some of my fights, and I've also been the smaller fighter in some of my fights. So there's pros and cons to being smaller. It's not always the small guy loses. A lot of times I was a small guy and I still won. So it's about being able to capitalize on those pros and cons of being smaller or bigger. If you're smaller, generally you're going to be a little bit quicker. a little bit faster, a little bit more agile, perhaps a little bit more athletic. And if you're larger, you want to use your size, you want to use your strength, all that sort of stuff, you know. But it's whoever is in the fight, it's their job to capitalize on their pros, on their cons, on their strengths. You know, so for me, going in there against Patricio, it's my job to capitalize on my strengths and make sure I play to his weaknesses.
Benson, you talk about fighting here in Southern California, a place that has such a rich MMA tradition.
Southern California is awesome. Can't beat the weather, right? I came from Phoenix. It was 111 when I left. When I landed here, it was like 83. I was like, oh yeah, I love this.
Bellator's talking about bringing in Rory McDonald. You were obviously one of the first big free agent signings. Do you feel like you've been kind of a pioneer in that sense?
I would say pioneer because there are a lot of other guys who, came from the UFC's signed with Bellator besides me. But as far as like, big name. You know, was he coming off a couple wins or a couple losses?
A pair of losses.
A couple losses. It's always tough coming off a couple of losses, having the right bargaining tools, the right bargaining chips, come off a couple of wins, then it's another story. You know, you're coming off a couple of wins, but if you come off a couple of losses, you know, that's what it is. It's hard that way, but he's definitely a big name free agent signing for Bellator, or at least welcome to the ranks.
No. Do you think you made the right choice by coming over?
Oh, I know for sure I made the right choice coming over to Bellator.
Donald Cerrone is one fight away from free agency right now. Is that a fight you'd be interested in again?
I thought he was already a free agent. I just spoke to his manager there. I think
his last fight was his last fight. His last fight.
yeah, we have a good relationship with Donald and with his management team, Kevin Harvick. We have a really good relations, and I think Donald and I will probably not fight again. You know, we've had 3 of them so far. He beat me the last one, but we probably won't face off.
You don't want that back in any way?
What's that?
You don't want that one back?
Who do you think won the fight?
That's tough, man. It's fight game subjective.
Yeah, it is subjective.
Yeah.
Who do you think won?
I could see it both ways, to be honest. I can see it both ways.
Okay.
To be honest.
But who do you think won? I'm a grown man. My feelings don't get hurt too much. We can do a poll in the audience. How many guys thought Cerrone won the last one? And how many guys thought that I won the last one? I talked to Cerrone. Cerrone came, you know, again, we're buddies. He came to my locker room afterwards. We talked about it. We know who really won. Him and I.
What did you guys talk about when you went in there?
We talked about the fight.
About what was that?
Who won? Who do you think won?
You think you won?
Who do you think won? Okay.
Did he tell you like, hey man,
Who do you think won?
Okay.
Okay. Soren and I talked about the fight. We both agree. We both understand. We know who really won that fight, and it is what it is. The judges gave it to him. The 3 people who mattered in the entire world, the 78% of the world can think that I won. It doesn't matter. You know, the 3 guys who mattered gave it to Cerrone. So cool. It is what it is. But him and I, we know. You know, so it doesn't really matter. He's doing great at 170. He's kicking butt. He just finished his last 2 guys at 170 or 3 guys at 170, whatever. So he might be getting the title shot there. Who knows?
Will you be fighting at 170 and 155 in Bellator, or just 170?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably. The reason why Bellator signed me is for big fights. Bellator has signed me. They're paying me a lot of money for big fights. That's what I'm about right here. You know. So whether the big fights at 155 or big fights at 170, I'm down. I'm game. You need a guy on 1 week notice. I'm down. I'm game. I'm always in the gym. You need 5 rounds on 1 week notice. Cool, no problem. I'll give it to you. You know, 155, 170. Let's do it.
Have you and Ariel set up a fight? I mean, a basketball game?
Oh, Ariel and I have not set up a basketball game. I was in New York. I had my basketball shoes. I texted him. I hit him up. And he came with me. He came up to me. He was like, "Oh, let me check my league and see if we have any room and we can do this and we can do that." All said and done, we ended up not playing. Even though I was there, I was in New York City, in his hometown. I had my shoes. He didn't want to play, so.
So he's all talk, man.
I didn't say it, but you're allowed to say it.
1 or 2 more, yes.
Patricio, talking about Patricio, he's a guy that's resilient. Even if he's smaller than you, he's a guy that you've seen get dropped and come back and finish guys. What do you have to be careful for when you're standing in front of that guy? If you have him hurt, do you jump in on him? Do you pick your shots? What do you do?
That's a great question. Patricio, being a former champion, He is a true veteran of the sport. He has been hurt in a lot of his fights, and he has come back. He has come through. He still has knockout power when he's there. His knockout power is at 145. We'll see how his knockout power translates over at 155 lightweight class, but he does have power. He has been hurt. He does know how to balance himself. He does know how to clear his cobwebs and keep throwing and still be dangerous while he's hurt. So that's something you definitely have to be aware of, something you definitely have to pay attention to. But if he's hurt, me being the fighter that I am, I'm going to go after him.
What'd you make of the Diaz-McGregor fight?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it at all?
Alright. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Ben.
Send me the email.